Earlier this week, there was a huge earthquake that hit two earthquakes that hit the Turkey and Syria area right across the border of the two countries. And these earthquakes are 7.9 magnitude as the largest value, and it caused so much damage and destruction and death, a total human catastrophe happening in the region. We now have 20,000 people that have been confirmed dead from this natural disaster, and this number is still expected to rise, and it has been rising and rising every day. It seems like a few more thousand people get added onto this death toll as the emergency crews discover more people trapped under rubble and fallen buildings and other various structures, and these rescue efforts have faced a lot of backlash from some of the people in the region because they believe that the government is not doing enough to help out to help out the victims of this event. People on the ground saying, "Well, nobody was here to help us. I have complaints about all the authorities here. There are no teams here. Everyone is waiting for rescue teams." And yeah, so some of this was in Turkey and the other part was in Syria. Syria is still under the civil war that's been raging on for years and years and years now, rebel controlled territories. So that would be more expected if there was discombobulation and ineffective responses there. But for a pretty powerful country like Turkey, it seems right now what we're looking at is a poor response by the president of Turkey, Tayyip Erdogan, who's up for re-election in May. This could be a defining moment of his re-election campaign if people have an overwhelmingly negative view of his efforts to help out with this natural disaster. It could hurt his re-election campaign. But just going back to the details, since we're in the middle of winter, it's very cold there, and without a sufficient amount of buildings to provide heating that the residents had beforehand, many of them are freezing. There are pictures circulating of thousands of people gathered around campfires and other heating devices just to try to get out of the cold since they have no place to sleep and they don't, Turkey and Syria do not have enough facilities, governmental facilities set up to house all of these people, and that also makes the rescue mission harder because the crews need more protective gear and are unable to work for as long just because of the freezing conditions as opposed to a day in like spring or something where these more frequently seem to happen, but it's just a complete and total disaster that some point to as a turning point in the region and perhaps something that will have that will force the Turkish government primarily uh to build better structures and that are more resistant to earthquakes and would have a chance of staying up if there were future quakes. Right now, rescue teams are knocking down some of these buildings that were in the affected area, and although those buildings didn't collapse completely, they're being deemed to be too dangerous to ever re-enter. So some of the rescue mission is now being pushed to that, getting rid of those buildings before they fall and pose a bigger risk to people. And we're at a point right now where finding survivors under the rubble is just very unlikely. Statistics go around saying around the fifth day after before this happens, there's just 6% chance of uh finding of surviving under all this rubble, and it's the first really just the first 2 days that are critical if uh someone is trapped underneath for them to be rescued alive by rescue teams. There have been so many stories floating around of families who families who either were able to get somebody out of there and could hear their screams, and other also heartbreaking stories of families who could hear screams but were unable to get there, and by the time all the rubble was digging out, those people had passed away. So this is just a total disaster that's an ongoing story and will probably this won't have an end for a while, but it's just a major international event that now worth talking about now that we know what the total death number is likely to reach around, and we're seeing the response of the people affected to it, but to the leaders and international assistance is also flowing in.